The Prime Minister today described the Immigration Minister as thoughtful and compassionate. Minister, how is it thoughtful or compassionate to describe generations of hard-working immigrants who have made an enormous contribution to this multicultural nation of ours as, I quote, a mistake?
I entirely agree with the description of Peter Dutton, the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection, as thoughtful and compassionate. I entirely agree, having known Peter Dutton as I have for some 17 years. A more thoughtful and compassionate minister you will not find on either side of this chamber.
Minister, there was a time when the Prime Minister understood the difference between thoughtful and compassionate and racism. Does the Prime Minister now also believe it's thoughtful and compassionate for the Immigration Minister to describe refugees as illiterate and innumerate, to describe them as illegals who will take Australian jobs or languish on dole queues?
Attorney General.
Well, Senator Di Natale, I tell you what the Prime Minister believes, as every man and woman of this government also believes, and that is in a successful multicultural Australia. A successful multicultural Australia which, as we know from our own historical experience and from the historical experience of other nations as well, depends on public confidence that we are in control of our own borders, so that, as John Howard once famously said, we decide who comes into this country and the circumstances in which they come.
Point of order, Senator Back.
Point of order on reflection. President, Senator Hanson-Young cannot make statements like Mr Dutton is a racist and a bigot without it being challenged.
Mr President, I stand by it. I think Peter Dutton is a racist bigot.
Well, that's unparliamentary language directed at a member of the other House. I'd ask that you withdraw that, please, Senator Hanson-Young.
It is my opinion, Mr President. I will withdraw it for the sake of the chamber. But
thank you.
Honestly, I believe it.
Don't repeat it, Senator Hanson-Young. Senator Brandis.
So, Senator, through you, Mr President, so Senator Di Natale, Mr Dutton and Mr Morrison before him has presided over a suite of policies that not only have it produced the outstanding humanitarian outcomes of—
Pause the clock. Senator Di Natale.
Point of order on relevance. The question was very, very narrow. How is it thoughtful or compassionate to describe refugees as illiterate and innumerate, to describe them as illegals who will take Australian jobs or languish on dole queues? Very narrow question.
Thank you, Senator Di Natale. I will remind the Attorney General of the question. Attorney General.
Well, Senator Di Natale, the point I'm making to you is that we believe, Mr Dutton believes, in a successful and prosperous multicultural Australia. But there are certain requirements and conditions
Thank you, Attorney
to
General.
enable
the time
that
for answering the
society
question
to prosper.
has expired.